Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm your host Tyranno Senpai, and welcome to today's video. I am joined today once again by Tristan and Eddie. Say hello to the audience, people.
Hey, what's up? This is Tristan.
Hey, what's up? This is Edgar or Eddie.
There we go. There we go, you guys. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Godzilla vs. Kong. We've watched this thing about 5 days ago as of recording this, opening night to be exact. And we're just going to dive right on in. So, guys, right away, what was your favorite scene in that entire movie? Hands down.
That's a tough one. The first thing that comes to mind is when Godzilla and Mechagodzilla have the laser fight. I had a feeling they were going to do something like that, and it was done really well. You definitely got a sense of the power behind each of them, and it was visually good looking. Yeah, exactly. It didn't look like
me of Harry Potter and Voldemort when they do their bit in
yeah.
Yeah. For me, I was thinking Vegeta versus Goku, the old Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
when
right.
They first meet Gallic Gun versus Kamehameha. It was something really, it just like brought back that instant memory.
Seriously, iconic.
Yeah. For me, my favorite scene has to be when Godzilla lands in Hong Kong. Just seeing those lights and Godzilla's dorsal fins flaring was such a beautiful sight with the neon colors, all the reds and greens and the blues. It was fantastic, man. It's like a work of art.
Yeah, they did a really good job of, especially, once you enter Hong Kong, it almost looks like Pacific Rim-esque with how neon-y everything is. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and you definitely have to give credit to the editors and producers as well, because they are taking notes from the critiques that are being in place for not only Godzilla 2014 release, but also Godzilla King of Monsters. Because a big issue I had when I was first seeing those movies is it was so dang dark. It was really dark. You could really see the full aspect of Godzilla. And here you come in a neon etched out city like Hong Kong, and you see just a perfect, still the perfect fur on King Kong, and also Godzilla's full form and full expression. You're not just seeing his dorsal fins light up from an atomic blast about to come out. You're seeing his both bodies just making impact with each other, and you gotta appreciate that.
And there's no debris blocking it to either.
Right, seriously, you're not caught in a dust storm the whole time. It was, I thought, and they look really good too. It's not like they look bare or unfinished. Like, Kong looked really good.
They looked rugged.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like you could rub your hand against Kong and it would feel like some old woolly carpet or something like that.
Yeah, the fact that they kept that mindset when they're putting the snow on his fur for the Antarctica scene, that was fantastic.
I know.
Really well done.
It just clung to him like actual fur against snow, like it actually would. That was a really nice touch.
I wonder what the budget was for this movie, actually. I'll look that up.
It was $1.4 million, I think it was. Editing me. Put it here. There, they'll know.
$155 to $200 million was the budget. The box office so far is at 285.4. So it is.
Hell yeah!
Oh, it's definitely making money.
Oh yeah. I will no doubt be looking forward to getting a bigger TV in my living room, because I have a 30 and 32 inch right now.
You want a bigger one?
Well, yeah, I have to if I gotta get HBO because they're in that free trial of HBO. Gotta get that screen exactly.
Yeah,
seriously. You got 25 more days left.
Yeah. We risk, folks. We risk coronavirus to go see this in theaters. All right, so the big screen. The big screen is a big factor.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It even says it demands to be on the biggest screen possible.
Right.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Continue.
I would say, and truthfully, the just regular screening service in movie theaters was worth it. I don't feel like 3D or IMAX would have changed the appeal of each scene, especially the fighting scenes.
Exactly, it just felt like you were there.
Right. You know, but another thing about that is IMAX 3D makes the screen, the visual aspects of the screen go darker too. So I feel like it would have been a negative impact on my takeaway of the fighting scene.
Yeah, And speaking of fighting, let's go ahead and talk about Godzilla and Kong. Their designs, how they were portrayed. What do we think?
I honestly think I was rewatching this, and like when Godzilla first shows up at the very beginning, I was like, man, this might really be the best Godzilla design. I don't know. It's a tough one, but they really took like the best of every iteration, I think, and kind of put them together.
Except Heisei.
I was about to say, I think they kind of stayed away from that. Yeah.
Well,
unfortunately.
One thing I would say that definitely I would 100% agree with you on that, because Godzilla in the past two movies, his screen time was just so dang limited.
It was sparse.
Yeah, especially the first one. It was just straight insult. Like, I know more about
it was like Jaws. You don't see the shark until the end.
Yeah,
exactly. But this one had him more fleshed out, more into character, more facial features were put into place.
I remember at one point we were in the theater and they were throwing down. I remember Godzilla smirking. And I'm like, wait a minute,
exactly.
is Godzilla smiling here? I've never seen Godzilla smile. I couldn't tell if my eyes were playing tricks on me, but then I rewatched it and I was like, no, he's smiling. He's definitely smirking about something. He's evil laughing behind that face.
Yeah.
He was like, the most expression of the two.
Oh yeah.
Because you see looks of anger, concern, and happiness when he eats all them fish. He just goes,
yeah, right.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how Kong is. And to be honest, yeah, more humanized. Yes, exactly. But that's another thing I kind of have an issue with. So, King Kong, Skull Island, they did a fantastic job with the editing and the visual effects. Yes, they did a fantastic job with visual effects, especially with Kong. I mean, that even translates to this new 2021 release. But the problem with me personally, I feel like there should have been a movie in between Skull Island and Godzilla vs. King Kong, like something in between. Yeah, well, we'll make a movie out of it, make some money out of it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get the Shinamura, the Muto Prime.
Something.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that out. I haven't actually looked into that.
I've just seen people talk about it.
Huh.
Right.
But the designs of them look so good. They are so very well detailed. But if you were to actually see that on the screen, would you actually think they looked realistic compared to the actual background? Or could you just tell it was CG straight away?
We're talking Kong versus Godzilla here?
Yeah. Not the actual beginning, like the original King Kong versus Godzilla.
Right, yeah.
You can tell that.
I was kind of thinking to myself, it kind of hits that like Marvel Universe level where it's like I'm not bothered by it, but you can kind of tell the difference between like what was digitally added and they did a pretty good job making live sets too, though. Like I'm pretty sure Ghidorah's skull
that was a prop.
Yeah, that was really cool looking, and so I think they did. It was well balanced, but a little obvious, but not bothersomely so.
Yeah, I think in my opinion. If you want to make something look good in CG, make it look like it's made out of rubber. Because when Shin Godzilla came out, they gave it the texture of rubber. And that actually fooled me. I actually thought that was a man in a suit the entire time.
Yeah.
Until I figured out it was actually CG. It's like, oh my God, that's CGI. That looks like it's a man in a suit.
I will admit, going back to Shin Godzilla, not to go super off track and turn this into like a half Shin Godzilla review, but I will admit, like going back, I feel like Shin Godzilla does strike that little higher level of realism than this one did, with pros and cons attached to both. I mean, I feel like you couldn't be having Godzilla smirking and making all these real comic book-esque moves in Shin Godzilla. It would just ruin the tone of the film. Here in Godzilla v. Kong, it works.
It's better than
oh my God, yeah, right. I think you could tell there's that influence of like those like Godzilla vs. Megalong and Godzilla versus
Monsters
Gigan, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Like, popping about like, hi.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck happened to your mic?
My mic.
We got the other kaiju, like the war bats, the flying snake things. I was not happy with their appearance at all. I mean, I like the design, but the way they were portrayed stank. They were just literally.
How so?
They were just literally there to be fodder for Kong, and they were only on screen for like what 3-4 minutes minimum. I wish they had a bigger role because like there were teases of the Warbat being a thing, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be a new opponent for Kong or Godzilla. They're gonna fight these things. It's gonna be a real brawl, kind of like with Rodan and stuff like that. But I'm like, but when I finally see it, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is their only appearance in the MonsterVerse, and it's only 3 seconds. It's like the Carnotaurus from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. You only see it for a little bit, and the only time it makes an appearance is to pretty much be the T-Rex's bitch.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely understand like the frustration with not being able to kind of get as much of those monsters as you would want. I mean, in the context of the movie, it didn't really bother me because it makes you feel like
Kong is still king.
Kong gets his butt kicked pretty hard in the fights against Godzilla, so it kind of balances out. Like,
enough.
Yeah.
He nearly drowned the bugger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, definitely. I do wish that there was a little more background information with some things. But I mean, you can only go so far with a movie. I mean, we're not trying to go for another Marvel Endgame movie where the movie is 3 hours long, or Snyder's cut of Justice League where the hour is 4 hours long. But I still want to see some background about the other beasts that in the Hollow Earth scene, like when Godzilla gets that flying snake, or what would be the name, the Warbat. Well, that one factor is fully agreeing with you right there. But not only that, but the background with the axe, the glowing axe, like okay,
that would have been nice, like to see the story of how that came to be.
Exactly, maybe just like a little hieroglyphic of how one of Kong's ancestors ripped the dorsal fin off, or is Godzilla like a shark? Like he loses his dorsal fins, but he regrows them back again.
I agree and disagree, because like it would be cool if they made like they released like a director's cut or extended edition of this movie that kind of touched on those details. Yeah,
or just a comic, because that's what they do to patch up like everything.
Yeah, but in the context of the movie, I'm using that phrase a lot. Like in a theater experience, one, it's nice the movie's not too long. Like I'm not just like getting antsy post 2 hour mark. Like all right,
58 minutes.
And think about how much it makes your imagination work too. Like going, what's going on with this ancient axe thing? Like you go, what exactly happened there?
Theory, basically, you're just coming up with ideas on how this might be.
Exactly. It's like the beginning of Alien with the frigging cockpit alien, It's like Prometheus. You can spend a whole other movie off of just this little detail.
Yeah, and never know what really happens.
But even when you don't have the whole movie, it still works as just kind of getting your brain working. So I agree, and
But bringing up Alien, that could open up the pathway for prequels. You know how Alien has sequels/prequels constantly coming out. What are they on now? Prometheus or something? I don't even know the name of these prequels.
It was like Prometheus and then Alien Covenant. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Those movies are nice. I mean, I like Covenant personally, but it could open up a pathway. I mean, what if you have a King Kong family battle with Godzilla? Because I can't imagine Godzilla being the only one. I mean, there are comics.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. You get a Destroy All Monsters reboot or something.
We're getting off track here talking about aliens and stuff like that. Anyway. And then we have the Hellhawks, which is, I think, a kind of psycho vulture. Those were in the cave that Kong was in.
Yeah.
That was as hell, man.
Yeah, those were good. They were
fugly. I never thought I'd have to use that word in my entire life, but they were fugly. Yeah,
they looked like, I mean, not quite like vultures. They almost looked like plucked chickens. But almost half bat too. It was a weird mix. Yeah, really effective.
Yeah.
And a vulture had a baby, and it went horribly wrong. That was a very awkward
terribly wrong.
It was a non-consensual baby, and it resulted in that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Spawn. It's a face only a mother could love.
Right.
And again, their role was so tiny.
Yep. You know what? But let's be honest. It led to I would say our favorite scene, which was when Kong grabbed that ship and crushed it.
Yes,
it was inside that ship.
Maya. We will talk about that. Actually, why not? Right. Let's go for the characters. Who we really liked, who we really hated. I'm pretty sure we can all agree who we really hated. And like how they were like portrayed. Were they good? Were they bad? All that stuff. For me, Maya, the biggest bitch in the entire movie, has to get the award for the most hated character in the Godzilla franchise so far. Oh my God.
I felt like she was okay when during the first battle first fight scene with King Kong and Godzilla. Well, you notice that she took the little girl when the little girl came back inside the main room of the ship. She Maya grabbed her and like tried to make sure she was safe. Could be because of intentions, because she knew she was vital to communicating with King Kong. Either way, she did prioritize the care of her. That's when I thought, okay, maybe she's not so bad. But then I was like, nah, she's a total.
I already knew she was a bitch. Like when she said the line, "Be what was it?
Be impressed."
Yes. It's like,
feel free to be impressed. And the dude's just like, wow.
It's like, that's the bitchiest line I have ever heard.
Right.
Since Claire said, "Welcome to Jurassic World," coming out of an elevator. I'm like, yeah, this person's going to die. I knew straight away this either was going to have a good character development or she was going to die. And she died.
Characters you love to hate, you know. They're great for movies like this, I think.
Yeah.
I will admit, I don't think there was any character. But I think the only character that really stood out to me was probably the deaf girl. Like just in terms of like an interesting character. Yeah, I don't really remember any of their names. That's probably a bad sign. I don't remember any of the characters' names.
Well, that's another thing. Like many reviews have said that if you do not remember the human character's name, don't worry about it. Like,
monsters punching monsters.
I mean, in all fairness, I can remember their faces and I can remember their personality. So it's like they all work as kind of archetypes, stereotypes for a monster movie.
Yeah, Gia is awesome. I mean, for a little girl who's an orphan, she's seen a lot. Her tribe, all of her people have been killed off in the storm, and her best friend is a monkey. And
monkey. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That's why there should be a sequel.
Yeah.
Right, that would be cool to see.
Yeah,
there
is a prequel novel, a graphic novel, Godzilla Dominion, that's actually going to be taking place between King of the Monsters and GVK. So there might be something there, perhaps.
Interesting.
So
Very interesting.
On the lookout for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the information. I'm just going off what I've heard. That's not good.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes it's all you can get at times. So,
right. Yeah.
But
Gia
back to Gia real quick.
Yeah.
I think she was a cool, because Godzilla movies, especially the ones that are more comic book like, have always had not always, but they usually have children protagonists. Having a hard time thinking of specific ones besides Godzilla's Revenge, unfortunately, but there's a good number of them. Yeah, that's a bad example.
I hate it.
But
do not bring Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah, right. Oh god.
Place ever again. I hate it. I don't consider it to be a Godzilla movie. I consider that to be a child's fantasy.
It's a heck of an experience, that's for sure. But Gia is a cool twist on having that child protagonist that's not annoying and high pitched. Oh my god, Godzilla! Or in a lot of Gamera movies, there's a lot of those kids.
Or with Gamera,
the fact that she's dead. Yeah, they made her an effective plot device and a compelling character, and not annoying. It was like the trifecta of child protagonist in a monster flick. You can't go wrong there. They did a good job there.
Right. Yep. Similar to how they did with Millie Bobby Brown and Godzilla King of Monsters, in which
we forgot about her. She's in this movie too. Millie Bobby Brown as Madison Russell.
Yeah, the plot B storyline.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy they toned down on. I don't know. She was one of my least favorite parts of King of the Monsters. Not her in particular, but what they did with her character, where she's like, "I hate you, man. Again, you're working for the monsters." And it was just all right. It was so stereotypical, but in a bad way.
That was like melodrama on a family.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, come on, man.
Saturday night special.
But I would admit it did lead to the most anticlimactic scene, which was when Julian Dennison or Josh Valentine, the kid, he took the flash and just spilled it in the computer, and wet equals bad, and then Mechagodzilla goes oh shit,
I'm gonna die with you sober.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the scenes with her in this movie. I think they gave us just enough of that B plot.
Yeah.
It was not annoying. I wasn't thrilled watching it. There were funny moments. I think the characters played off each other, but yeah.
Bernie Hayes.
There was another Russell that returned. Mark Russell, Madison's father. I thought he had a bigger role than what he got. It was like Jeff Goldblum returning to Fallen Kingdom. It was sparse.
It was pretty much as bad as that. Yeah, I think Mark Russell, that's his name, right? I'm getting the name around the actor.
That's his character name.
He I think he has 2 scenes total. Like one at the beginning where he's like, Godzilla's turned evil. I don't know why, but he's evil now.
I count
Go home. And then and then at the very end, I think he like finds his daughter in the crowd.
He just serves as a background character. We don't care about him.
Yeah, they totally side railed him.
There to please the fans, to let them know, hey, he's still here. This is still part of the universe.
Right.
That's what they did with King of the Monsters when they had Serizawa and Graham. Speaking of
seriously.
Serizawa, what do you think of his son, Ren?
No shit, that's his son.
Yeah, that's his kid.
Yes.
They're playing the Japanese guy who controls Mechagodzilla for a time.
Ren Serizawa.
I think he did really well. I think he was a interesting character. Like he's not a dislikable villain, and that kind of makes you feel bad when you see him die.
He's like Dr.
Yeah. Well, even Dr. Wu's a little bit more sinister.
He's not really a villain. He's just doing what he wants to do because he can.
Sort of. I mean, Dr. Wu's even a little bit more sinister. Like those scenes where the guy with the bourbon flask in hand, not flask, but bourbon glass in hand all the time, the leader, the CEO of Apex or whatever his name is, he's kind of like, get in the damn cockpit of Mechagodzilla, even when Sen is like, I don't know if we should do this, man. We haven't tested this, man.
Ren, not Sen. Ren.
Oh boy. Ren. Yeah, he was kind of like the what's a good I don't know, like the Starscream to the Megatron, like just like the more relatable villain that's like not as just crazy and hellbent on evil doing. He's like, I think he fit that second in command sort of villain niche well.
I honestly thought Ren Serizawa was going to be the villain of this thing, not what was his name? Trying to rack my brain. I'm actually looking on Wikipedia. Walter
How
Simmons.
you remembering all the
Walter Simmons. That was the only one I had to look up. That's the only one, I swear. That's the only
if you say so.
I promise you, though, they always Godzilla. Big thing with Godzilla versus or Godzilla films and King Kong films, they use like A-list celebrities, like great celebrities. For example, Alexander Skarsgård, like his brother is Bob Skarsgård, and he sorry if I'm butchering the name, but he plays It in It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. He's a great actor.
Actually,
is that really the guy?
Yeah, exactly. So they use great actors, who have great history, like Mark Russell, Millie Bobby Brown, and so forth. But I don't feel like they play an integral role. Like, what is the main reason of seeing this movie? You want to see that monkey get his ass whooped, or vice versa, or vice versa, which
we haven't gotten that far yet. We haven't gotten that far yet. Just be patient. I know you want to talk about it.
Oh my goodness! But what I'm saying is, that is one thing that the creators, directors are looking into doing, downsizing, if not completely eradicating the human role, and just making a monster universe, just the plot being centrally. Yeah, exactly. But I do know that is a little difficult because a human's plot or the storyline revolving around the humans help it become more relatable in the sense to us as viewers is what I come to understand based on that mindset.
Yeah. Anyway,
totally.
Back to the characters. My favorite has to go to Bernie, the guy in the podcast. He's just funny. I love him.
I would agree. He was probably my favorite character in the movie as well. Yeah, I always
carrying
kind of feel a sense of relief when I see him on screen
in a gun holster. Crazy shit, and holds his dead wife's whiskey in a gun carrier.
He's the Rick of this movie,
I will never understand women.
Hey,
I fully agree with that. He was my favorite character, and as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, "Who the hell is that?" I'm like, "Oh, he's in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Let's go."
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just love him as a character. He's like that nervous type. Like you hear him stuttering, like, I'd like to have you on my podcast, and talk about some stuff.
Yes.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
You hear that stutter, you hear that nervous. It's like, no. Like he gets excited and like it's so relatable because that's like me. That's me.
He pulled off a good performance.
Basis, like when I'm not at home.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really did enjoy him as a character. It really helped out And it's even relatable during this time because conspiracy theorists are all around and they're always trying to get proof. And he's getting some really hardcore proof. And I'm like, this is such a relatable character because he's
I also like the fact that what he was saying in the movie was eventually what I called out. I actually knew that King Ghidorah was going to control Mechagodzilla. I knew that was going to happen somehow.
Oh yeah,
but we'll talk about that later. Absolutely. Anyway, so I think we are done with characters. Now we get onto the nitty gritty, which is Mechagodzilla. When I first heard the rumors that he might be coming, I was like, "Oh shit, this could be either really good or really bad." What do you guys think?
All right. Well, I have to ask personally, what do y'all think about the design of Mechagodzilla?
It was very different than what I thought. I thought the dorsal fins would look something similar to actual Godzillas because I could see it as being Mechagodzilla, but there's something off about it that makes it seem like it's not proper. If you get
it's
what
definitely
I mean.
Americanized. I think I will start by saying I think this is my favorite Mechagodzilla. I think this is the best one so far. Definitely, granted, it benefits from CGI out the wazoo, so the special effects
it has to be
probably the highest budget.
Kiryu from Tokyo SOS is still my favorite. That's my favorite.
For the record, interesting. Yeah, we've talked about this a little bit before. For the record, 1974, the very first Mechagodzilla is my favorite of the original Japanese ones. I just like how evil and
and this Mechagodzilla turned out to be a villain too for the first time since those films.
Yeah, he looks like a Terminator borderline with the red eyes and the kind of
maybe this Godzilla just ripped his arm off and you just see the metal arm instead.
Yeah, right.
One thing I think might be the facial structure of Mechagodzilla that kind of did throw me off. I feel like it will be more pointed. Maybe that's what kind of threw me off as well. But I'll be honest, just think about it now. I'm kind of having a hard time trying to remember his facial features. I feel like Mechagodzilla's screen time was more brief in comparison to Godzilla and King Kong.
Well,
definitely.
The main villain. They're gonna do that.
Well, no, but I'm saying you want to
the shadows quite a bit.
Exactly. Well,
they pulled the Batman
by that I mean
Superman.
Yeah,
they saved the big baddie for last.
Definitely. But even during the fighting scenes, I feel like there were some great scenes in that fighting scene, but there is something off about it that just kind of threw me. I did love his design altogether, especially the dorsal fins, how they glow red. But there was something that I can't really pinpoint. That I just I wish they did something different. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah. For me, Mechagodzilla was OP. The moment I saw him split open that skull crawler, I was like,
oh yeah.
I know they were the villains of Skull Island, but you can't help but feel sympathetic of what that thing's just gone through. It's
right.
Split in half by its.
Hey, at least to start with the head, right?
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean it's dead. Even if it gets shot in the brain, if it gets shot in the brain, you can still live.
I mean, with a bullet, but that's a laser that's the size of its whole damn head going through it. I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, we don't know Titan anatomy. We don't even know if the brain's in the face.
Yeah, right. Tail crusher or the skull crusher's got a tail on the end of its tail, or brain on the end of its tail. Skull crawler.
Yeah.
Also, they didn't point out what they were doing with the skull crawler eggs when we saw that.
That's true. They're just using it for.
I guess they were growing them so they could be used for Mechagodzilla as tests.
I suppose so. Yeah, it seems probably just testing all sorts of stuff too, whatever machines, weapons they're probably using.
Yeah. But Mechagodzilla doesn't have as many abilities as I thought he would. Because in all the other movies, he's just got an array of weapons.
I think that might be part of the reason why he feels a little different.
Limited to just a laser breath, a tail scythe, and an occasional pulse, maybe some missiles and flight.
Yeah.
Question mark. We don't really see him fly. You just see
I don't think he flies.
Make a giant jump because of his jets. We don't see him actually fly.
Yeah.
Right, but as the character played by Zarazawa mentioned, is that after they got the power source, they were able to. They didn't even test him out. All they did was do a test on his
data.
Exactly. All they did was just test the atomic blast on the skull crawlers. But aside from that, they didn't test anything else. So, with that being said, if testing when we were done, maybe we could have fleshed out more of his weaponry. But without much being done, I would agree that I would have loved to see more of his abilities.
Yeah, and also, why is it specifically red? It used to be rainbow.
I think the rainbow. That's probably also because Mechagodzilla came out in the '70s, back when like psychedelics were getting all popular, and just
Yeah. Plus nowadays,
I'm not gonna go too
rainbow, they think you're gay.
Right, the rainbow laser would probably have had some connotations in 2021 that would have thrown off the tone.
Red and blue are
feel the power of science.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but Mechagodzilla's portrayal, even though he did show up kind of like as a last-minute boss, it was pretty good.
I feel like that's always the case, though. There's all like evil or bad is always portrayed by red, while good, aka Godzilla's atomic blast, is always portrayed by blue.
Except
so I feel like red,
blue is bad, red was good.
Yeah, those two colors in general are always like swapped, or it's like you were saying, yeah.
It's like black and white.
Very iconic. It was a good choice for this being a very.
There were a lot of
comic
theories
movie
floating about that the Godzilla we saw in the trailer wasn't the real one because it kept on getting beat up. They thought it was Mechagodzilla. After watching this movie, we can confirm it's not.
No.
I was kind of expecting this to have a similar plot to the first Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, where when you see Godzilla show up in the first 5 minutes, he's blowing stuff up, being a villain. It's like,
and he did.
Turns out it was actually him. It was like, all right, well, shit.
Yeah, he's pissed.
It was a cool twist.
Yeah, I knew it was Godzilla from the start. I knew something was up. They wouldn't set him up as the protector of Earth, the balance of nature, if he didn't attack people, if he knew they were up to bad shit.
Yeah, this ain't the DC universe. They're not going to pull a 180 after one movie like that here. So
his job is to protect the balance of nature, not necessarily the inhabitants.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's made. I kind of realized what direction they were taking the second they show Bernie see like Mechagodzilla is what we've later realized is his eye.
Yeah.
The place where Godzilla's attacking. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, they're making Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla's woke enough to be just like, hey, what are you doing?
Like he's a pet owner, and he's just saying, hey, none of that.
Whipping out the spray.
I wonder if it was the level of radiation that Godzilla senses. That's why he took it as a threat. That level of radiation was kaiju level, and that's why he was like, "What the fuck y'all doing down there?"
Or maybe
exactly,
or maybe it was like it's something he didn't recognize.
Yeah, exactly.
He had extraordinary senses because he was in the middle of the freaking ocean when Mechagodzilla was fully built. And he heard it and he's like, oh, I'm turning this bitch around. I know where it is.
Yeah, I mean, folks, not even that. He managed to blast through the Earth's crust.
Right.
This was Dragon Ball level bullshit, and I love it.
Yeah, it was great. It was really over the top.
Down through the Earth. And
show that clip, Ronnie.
Hollow Earth. What was your take on that? It was.
They need to make a ride of that ASAP. They need to make a ride to Universal or wherever. I don't give a crap if Disney gets a ride. Make a ride. I will get on that bitch and ride that bitch like it's daddy. I don't know.
Anti-gravity. There you go. Or you can either be on the floor or on the ceiling. You take it.
Yeah.
Now, have y'all been a little off track? But have y'all been on that Avatar ride at Disney World?
Not me. I'm afraid. With COVID, I haven't really been able to do much of anything.
No, I'm not.
Oh my god, guys! I think it's phenomenal. So, little backstory, but it ties into
this. Trip for the summer.
Something. Let's shoot. I may have to plan convince the wife that's going to be our anniversary plan. Disney World.
Boom.
But yeah, the Hollow Earth was interesting. I honestly thought it was just going to be molten lava and stuff like that. But when I actually saw there was like a sun and forests and mountains and waterfalls, I was like, this is definitely more than what I expected.
Definitely.
Like, it's a whole environment. It's the home of the Titans.
Yep. How did they leave? I want to know that information. I mean, you had only one pathway, which is Antarctica, that was highlighted, and also Skull Island. But then, how is everyone else escaping that place?
I guess the whole Godzilla made?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess that must have been it.
Hey, we got a new
That is
that's
a funny point, though.
People, let's go to the Bank of China. It should be down there.
Yeah, right.
That's actually where it is. That's where the fight took place, near the Bank of China.
Really? Near the Bank of China?
Yeah, not kidding you.
Oh, no shit.
That's an actual
I was not aware that was in Hong Kong. Well, yeah, I can imagine. I'm surprised to hear that's in Hong Kong. I would imagine it was being continental China, but that makes sense because Hong Kong's.
Why not Japan? I'm pretty sure
right.
That is something else that got me. Like, I would give it the excuse that maybe all right, folks, we used Japan in the first movie. Let's not do that again. No, I don't take that excuse. No. I want to know why did not use Japan. Japan is the origins of Godzilla. From my understanding, is the origins of Mechagodzilla as well, because Japan created Mechagodzilla. Mm-hmm. And yes, King Kong has always been in Skull Island territory, but
except when he's
why
in New York
China?
City getting blown up?
Yeah. Hey, that was a good movie. 2005.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Jack Black. Please adopt.
Should have had Jack Black in this movie, man. Shit, him and Bernie would have gone great together.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, bring Jack Black to the next King Kong movie. Yeah, right.
Petition for that.
Continue the MonsterVerse with Jack Black.
We're gonna.
But I do wonder why. You know, production of this movie was cut short because of COVID-19, and being as China's one of the epicenters of that. You know, I just really wish they kind of stood away from producing a movie in China, but it is so hard. It is so hard not to produce.
I was going to say they got to market to China these days. Unfortunately, that's just how the movie business, however you want to call it.
I'm not crapping on the fight scene with Hong Kong. That was awesome. But of all the places they chose, why couldn't they go to Japan? I'm pretty sure they got a city just like that one with all the lights and stuff. I don't know for sure. Don't tell me. You might know this more, Eddie. I don't. I don't watch enough anime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like specific places in Japan they fight in the first Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, but I could be wrong. Because the first thing I thought when he shows up in Hong Kong is I'm like, oh boy, are they trying to hint that like Godzilla's gonna die here or something? I started thinking of Godzilla versus Destroyer, and so that's like the only movie that takes place in Hong Kong.
The one time Godzilla ever shows up in Hong Kong up until now.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, it's not like unprecedented, but it is a weird spot. I think the only reason they did that probably is honestly just to market harder to the
Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they got the movie first, so I hope they're happy.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Okay. We've talked about the locations. We talked about the characters. Let's actually now get to the nitty gritty and talk about the fighting. Starting with round one, who do you think really won that fight between Kong and Godzilla on those ships?
Yeah, Kong coughing up a gallon of water out his lungs. You already know Godzilla won that.
A gallon? That is way more than a gallon.
Yeah, it's probably like an Olympic swimming pool's worth.
Yeah.
Nah, but all metrics aside on how much water he's spitting up, Godzilla would have like certainly killed Kong there. I think it was implied that he would have drowned his ass. Like seriously, they had to use the detonating charges, and then they had to play dead just to keep Godzilla from finishing him off.
Yeah, Kong was almost finished. However, because it was like human interference that stopped the fight, I honestly think I have to call that a tie. Nobody got killed, and the fight only ended because they pretty much turned off the lights and they freed Kong. It was human interference.
But it was a sign that is it admission of defeat that okay, we're not gonna fight you, so let's power down the show.
Basically, we're gonna be your bitch for today.
Kong forfeited, basically. I think we can call it that. He kind of he wasn't up on the ship like banging his chest, roaring at Godzilla as he swims away. You know.
I agree with that. He didn't stand. He could have got up. He was dead tired. He didn't get up. He didn't be like come back here.
He looked like he wanted to. He looked like he wanted to. He was snarling like. He can still fight, but he looked so tired, like those anime characters that just keep going on and on and on until they finally got what they wanted. So, we saying Godzilla won the first bout.
Easily. And that was honestly one of the best scenes in the movie, too. I forget about it. When
watching the water come off of Godzilla was so beautiful.
That was good, but specifically...
I saw the water dripping and like, oh my god, he looks so beautiful. Make it with me, please. I want to have your babies. They're this beautiful.
Oh my gosh. But specifically when Godzilla shoots his laser up from the ocean and Kong like realizes what's about to happen, he jumps off the ship just in time. That was a good shot.
Yeah.
I'm
You definitely
glad
felt the
that
sense
they
of
made
like,
it so the water doesn't impede his atomic breath like they did in the past. I'm so happy they kept that. Kept that because
Godzilla feels
it's not
super.
fire. It's not fire. It's atomic
Yeah,
energy.
exactly. Ain't gonna stop that with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I lost my train of thought there. So, oh no! Godzilla just moves really well in this movie. I was gonna say they did a good job of making sure he doesn't feel.
Slow,
he feels like he's got the weight, but not too too cumbersome. Like he moves when he's gotta. Exactly. Like it's
like in Godzilla, the 2014 one. He's just I'm getting
yeah. Right, and it's like I get it. Like this is the first Godzilla movie, but they definitely refined the
animation.
Yeah, the animation, just the sense of scale, and he feels like a big ass creature that
a giant
doesn't feel artificial.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, like they got the physics of his biology right, however you want to describe it.
Oh yeah, people will have gone online and questioned, Godzilla looks smaller in this movie. Did they make him smaller just so he can look more competitive with King Kong? And someone actually got the scale of the aircraft carrier, did a cross comparison with Godzilla when he's swimming, when he's on. He did so much, calculation into the structure of Godzilla. He was actually able to deduce he actually got older, having longer arms. Exactly. He actually grew in size.
It is confirmed that Godzilla did get bigger between the time of now and back in 2019. He has gotten bigger. That's
cool.
He is constantly growing.
It's a neat concept, and I mean, definitely same with Kong, and they address that.
Yeah. Okay, and then we move on to the second round, which is the first fight in Hong Kong.
First fight in Hong Kong, okay.
I have to give that one to Kong, because he knocked Godzilla out with that axe. He blasted him so hard. And he was the first one up, so naturally I have to give it to him.
Yep.
It's like in Pokemon, where they're like, in the anime, where they're like, get up, come on, you can do it. Like, they're both down. And one gets up, but the other one faints.
That's something that's really great about King Kong. He constantly adapts. He looks at his opponents, look at his surroundings, and he adapts to see that. That's why he was able to swing and use that axe to its full potential. Fullest potential possible, and he did a great use. Godzilla was not prepared for that weapon.
He was not. Especially when he got like stabbed in the leg with that thing.
Oh,
and I was like,
that was beautiful.
I felt that, like, because it's like all jagged and sharp and shit, and it's like, ouch.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of his own atomic energy, so that's probably not going to tickle.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the first round is also where Kong grabs the top off that building and uses it like a shield for a second.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot.
That shit was legit.
He Captain America that bitch.
Dude, it'd been great if he actually like moved through it.
That was something that was confusing and confusing at first. Go like, wait, didn't Godzilla's breath just laser through a bunch of buildings, but it managed to block this, not pierce through the building and
for a minute.
Right.
Right. I think, there's definitely a little bit of maybe wonky in-universe logic there. I appreciate that he uses it for like a split second. Like he doesn't walk up blocking the laser like it's Captain America versus Iron Man or some shit. It's just like 30 seconds straight. It was like half a second he's got the building in contact.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I think Kong has a very crafty style to his fighting that they emphasized, and it makes it's a cool.
Okay, he's gonna know.
Well, and it's not I guess compared to Godzilla, like Godzilla doesn't really do anything crafty. He's kind of just like, I'm gonna shoot my laser when I get pissed, and I'm gonna throw my weight around otherwise.
Kong is a craftsman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we have the second fight in Hong Kong, which was for the fans anyway, the deciding match between the two of them. Full disclosure, I have to give that fight to Godzilla. There's no way. He knocked Kong off his feet, bit his foot, although he had to crawl on all fours to do that, apparently. He just crawled over to get to him.
Yeah, he goes
then
full crocodile.
His chest open with his claws, and stepped on his chest, breaking his ribs. You could hear the bones cracking.
Right.
Oh my god, that was so brutal. If Godzilla had blasted him in the face, that would have been the end for Kong. He would have been dead. I have to give this win to Godzilla. Just the brutality of that alone makes him the winner of this fight.
I think if it wasn't for Kong's like roar back at Godzilla, I think Godzilla would not have acknowledged King Kong as a good equal, if not close to equal, and that's why he did not fully destroy him like he's done with so many others, like
so basically,
King Ghidorah.
even before the final fight, he already had a mutual respect for Kong.
Right.
Like, you got guts. You're on the floor right now, and I'm just about to end your life. You're still standing up to me. I respect that.
Yep.
So I'm just going to let you be. Even though Kong nearly died anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The only reason he lived was because they went clear with the heave on his chest.
Yeah, seriously. So, I mean, maybe...
I called it. He clear. Pzzz.
Yeah, so his mercy there is a little questionable. It's a little... I don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue, like, the Mutos were kind of like... Were the Mutos
savage.
Aliens, or were they just weird, like, human creations?
Weird abominations. I have never been able to identify. They're not invertebrates because they have a backbone, so I'm like, what the fuck are they?
All right.
Some kind of, like, evolution gone wrong bit?
Yeah, right?
But,
huh.
I'm not...
Because mammals don't lay eggs. So,
right.
And they're not reptiles because their eggs are clear.
Well,
not fish.
a platypus does. A platypus is a mammal and it lays eggs.
Yeah, platypus, but their eggs aren't clear. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true.
And they don't have chrysalis. The only thing I can think of that could compare the two of them with is a frickin' amphibian. And even that seems off.
Yeah, because they're all spiky and like insect-looking.
They have wings and they have multiple pairs of legs.
Yeah, they kind of look like they have exoskeletons too, like an insect, but at the same time, it's like, well...
Yeah, they have a backbone, though. They have a backbone.
The main reason I was bringing that up, though, my whole point of that bringing that up was just because Godzilla seems to maybe target things that are unnatural or man-made or alien in the case of Ghidorah. So it's like, maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't want to like just completely X-Kong, but at the same time, I don't know, it's a little
Godzilla and Kong had an ancient rivalry. Their species hated each other.
I can understand the perspective because I mean, look what happened with Mothra. I mean, he looked at Mothra like, yeah, that's my bitch right there. So he's not even doing anything to her.
I'm gonna have some Netflix and chill with you later.
Oh God, I don't even know. Okay, I don't even imagine how that works.
Let's not delve any deeper. I don't want to get demonetized.
Godzilla Jr. has to come from somewhere, right?
Oh God! Mothra wings out of nowhere, starts flying around.
There was a flying Godzilla cousin, though. I remember from a cartoon. I don't remember his name. It's from a Hanna-Barbera thing, but they had
that
with a flying
that's
relative.
Mothra, that's right. That's what Mothra told her husband. Yeah, that's my nephew.
Christ. Man.
You got something explained to do. All right, but Godzilla final fight between the two of them. I have to give it to him.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people in our group still are in denial.
It's like, I mean, Kong thwacked the shit out of Godzilla in round 2, but Godzilla brutalizes Kong in the third one, basically. Just like, totally.
He's like, all right, you pissed me off enough. I'm going beast mode on your ass. Like, I've let you push me around far too many times now.
Yeah.
It's like with Goku and Frieza. You see Goku just get beaten to death, basically, by Frieza, and he just like, no, I'm done. This is it.
Yeah, right.
Even when Goku finally shows mercy. Oh, wait, that's it. Godzilla and Frieza, and Kong and Goku. There you go.
Can't argue with that.
Goku showed mercy to Frieza, even though he was a dick.
Well, Frieza is a total prick. Yeah, he's just completely evil. So let's do a comparison with Goku versus Vegeta, because in the first fight, he lets him go in the spaceship, and then he becomes stronger, but still competitively like trying to challenge Goku, aka Godzilla. So definitely.
Yeah. Okay, and then the final fight in the movie. Mechagodzilla against Godzilla and Kong. The first bit, Kong's out. He's down for the count. He's dying. And Godzilla's just going at this bitch full force. and Mechagodzilla is just making him pretty much his bitch.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat too how Mechagodzilla almost pulls a King Kong in a way. The way he starts to like open up Godzilla's jaw. It was a cool little homage.
I forgot. I can't believe it didn't remember this. There's a callback to the original Godzilla movie, King Kong vs. Godzilla. The moment where Kong shoves his axe into Godzilla's throat. That's paying homage.
Oh my god, dude! How did I not think of that?
Kong shoving a tree and Godzilla.
Yeah.
In the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla's throat, and this
it rips up like
does the same thing, but with the axe. Oh my god! I can't believe I forgot to bring that up. Oh shit! I hate myself.
I can't believe I didn't even see that in the first place, man. Damn.
Back to it. What were you saying? Like Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, just like it was a cool little detail that it's like after Godzilla whooped Kong's ass in the final round, round 3, whatever you want to call it. Mechagodzilla does a very like King Kong move, like that jaw rip is very iconic. I mean, not that he actually rips
like he was about
Godzilla.
to. Just like,
no, oh shit. And at the same time, I mean, shit. Now I'm thinking of the first Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla, while he still looks like Godzilla, does that to Anguirus in the beginning.
Yeah, I forgot.
So shit, it's just like levels of reference going down.
It took me 3 times to watch this movie to finally figure out where the callbacks were.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. There's enough good just movie to take in that you're not like, okay, where's the nerdy shit, please, I gotta find something to like about this.
Yeah, it just pulls you in naturally. But yeah, Godzilla gets owned by Mechagodzilla during the first part of the fight. He's getting the beatdown. Even Mechagodzilla's like beam hurts him. It burns his skin.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you were burning Godzilla in 2019. Why is this hurting you? So then it's like, oh, this has to be really bad.
Yeah, right. Like that's
worse.
Yeah, like there's definitely a sense of power and just kind of I'm thinking of the word doom, but just like kind of an oh shit moment with Mechagodzilla. Like this guy really is the real deal. I feel like I haven't seen the Heisei series Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, so I can't really reference that one. I feel like you kind of got that sense of power with the first Mechagodzilla versus King Caesar, and I guess the first time he fights Godzilla too, he wins technically. Yeah. But Kiryu kind of felt like an underdog in a lot of the movies where he's featured, I feel like, or kind of where there's always the trouble with Godzilla's bones and going evil, but I'm getting caught off track. Yeah. I guess the point being is that it was cool to see Mechagodzilla be very clearly superior to just Godzilla or just Kong in this one. Like,
yeah, it took the two of them to fight Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, and it was still like,
and it was still almost one-sided.
Yeah, if they didn't have the axe, you could argue.
The only reason why they killed Mechagodzilla was because Godzilla fired his beam at Kong's axe.
Right, so without
to mutilate that thing, he cut off its arms, cut off its legs, and then decapitates this thing and rips
seriously,
the head right off.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's the hell out of him. It was really, really satisfying scene.
Finish him.
Yeah. Oh man,
in that fight, I have to say they both won. It was an assist. It was a team effort.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a Mechagodzilla lost. That's all I can say.
What about you, Eddie?
That's for sure.
Dude, I think you're muted.
And I don't know if he had to go take care of something real quick. Or...
There you go. He's back. Oh, never mind. He's gone.
Oh.
Dude, you're muted.
Yep, I was listening through the whole thing. Sorry. You know how I said I have a presentation?
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry about that. Anyway, then we come to the final moment where Godzilla and Kong just kind of stare down at each other.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was humbling.
In what way? How describe?
Like,
how was it humbling?
Just walks up to Kong. He's like, "I'm about to get this bitch on. I might be hurt. I might be near death, but I'm still gonna keep going." And Godzilla just stops and looks at him like, "Dude, I don't want to fight you anymore. We're done here. It's over. You don't need to keep fighting. I'm not the enemy here."
That's interesting. I kind of interpreted it differently. Maybe I need to go back and watch it again. I almost thought like Godzilla was the one that was like still aggressive, and
No, Kong was
when
ready to
Kong
go
throws
back
the
into
hatchet
it.
down, he's like, "All right,
No,
I'll
Godzilla
be the mature one."
he doesn't initiate. He just walks up to Kong and looks at him. He doesn't fight like want to fight. Kong is the one that wants to keep going.
I agree with that.
He just picks up his axe and just stares him down. And Godzilla's just like, calm down, bro.
That's a good point, right? He has to he had to pick up the axe again, right? I mean,
yeah.
And then he
picks up the axe and like, let's go, what's up?
Yeah, and he just finally set that axe down, knowing the fight was over. That was humbling to me in so many ways, because you got these two guys. They've been rivals for hundreds, if not thousands, of years, and they're finally just putting it all behind them.
For now, at least, definitely is a cool moment of reconciliation.
The future of the MonsterVerse is uncertain, but it's already made over $250 million in the United States. That, and there's people on Instagram and Twitter using hashtag continue the MonsterVerse, and Legendary Pictures is seeing this happen. They're seeing it. They're noticing. If we keep this up, we could very well see more Godzilla, more Kong, more of everything in the future. So if we just keep showing them our support as fans, we could probably see more like this in the future.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I gotta ask, if you want to see one monster come back in the MonsterVerse, what would it be? Unless it's already come back, unless your favorite already came back.
Gamera.
Interesting. Yeah, Gamera would be cool.
I would love to see Godzilla and Gamera finally come together. They have been media rivals for God knows how long. And
that has never happened before either, yeah.
I want to see the two of them come together in one movie, be either enemies or as friends. I don't care. As long as they finally meet.
That'd be cool. I would be surprised if that happened in this MonsterVerse, though. I feel like that'd be something that happens in like in a Toho movie sometime in the future.
Unfortunately, Gamera isn't owned by Toho, though. It was made by a different company. But if I want to see a Toho monster make a return, I go for Destroya.
That'd be pretty sweet. I mean, shit, with all the he's very xenomorph-like too with his transformation sequences.
He's nuts.
So he would work perfectly in American culture.
Yeah, he would. I'd like to see how they would design his final form, though.
Yeah, it could be
just make it like a
some seriously immaculate. Yeah, it could be really cool. Personally, Gigan, just I've always enjoyed his. I've always the buzzsaw. The buzzsaw on the chest and the fucking
the hooks for hands.
Like chicken, the hooks for hands and like the chicken face with like all the spikes and like Cyclops eye. It's
alien
just
cyborg dinosaur from space.
Right, I don't know why Gigan's always just clicked with me.
Yeah, it's
just
either
weird little thing.
Destroya, Anguirus, those guys.
I'm kind of surprised Anguirus made a
Destroya or King Ghidorah, but
King Ghidorah's already
evolved
dead.
form. Nah, they'll bring him back.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
Sure. Or the anime version of King Ghidorah, the Gotti.
We don't talk.
Oh yeah, dude.
We don't talk about that on my channel.
Oh shit!
I bet they took free reins of that. They're doing what they can with that.
Oh man, that was an experience.
Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I got some good footage. Thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate this. This is really gonna like blow the internet, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
Yeah.
Get more subscribers.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for joining me. I honestly don't think I could have done this review alone without having some outside opinions, because then it'd be pretty biased. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Thank you guys once again for joining me. If you did enjoy today's video, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. Link to the Discord in the description down below. And until next time, this is Tyranno Senpai signing off. Alrighty then. Take care now. Bye bye then.